everyone. My name is Xiaomi. I lead Xiaomi International Business. Today is a very important day. This is the first time in Xiaomi's history we launched a product during MWC. You see, I'm very excited. Probably too excited to lose my voice. So I will speak slowly to make sure everyone get my presentation. So the theme for this event is we make it happen. I want to thank to our partners. At the moment, Xiaomi has entered the 5G era and will be at the forefront of the next wave of 5G innovation. Let me call on our friend and partner from Qualcomm, Cristiano Amon, to the stage to share with us about 5G. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Give me a clap. Thank you so much. Good morning. Very happy to be here. This is a very proud moment for Qualcomm. Clearly, I look better on the picture. I'm sure it was taken with Xiaomi phone. So let me start talking about our partnership with Xiaomi. This is a partnership that started a very long time ago. Actually, I met Xiaomi when the company was just a handful of individuals. And it's a company that always wanted to take risk in mobile. One of the first companies that saw the potential of premium with our Snapdragon 800 and wanted to bring that to the China market and to the world. And when we think about the mobile industry, this is the largest industry now for the most important purchase decision for consumers. It's the combination of the entire consumer electronics and mobile. And we like to work with companies like Xiaomi that take risks. And when we look at the opportunity ahead of us for 5G, we see an opportunity to create winners and to bring change to the mobile industry, and we believe Xiaomi is one of those companies. So we're very proud of this relationship, and as I said, this is a very proud moment for Qualcomm. 5G is here, not in 2020, not late 2020, is here right now in 2019. 2019 is the year of 5G, and we're starting to see devices being launching, and many of those devices are going to start to go into commercial services in the hand of consumers as early as the second quarter of 2019. This transition, it will be faster than the 4G transition. We have a mature smartphone user base. We have educated users. I love the opportunity to interact with Xiaomi fans because our users did appreciate technology, and the power of 5G to the smartphone industry is so high that we expect to see a much faster transition. Just as a comparison, when we were about a decade ago talking about the launch of 4G, we had about 2 operators. We have 20 right now for the accelerated 5G. And it will enable new services, new business models, and new way to engage customers. And Xiaomi will be very well positioned to capitalize on this opportunity. 5G will improve substantially how we think about our phones. And it's not only about phones, but when you look at the experiences we get out of our smartphone, everything will get better. As we have multi-gigabit speeds and low latency, and a technology that is being developed for the user to want unlimited data rates, unlimited speeds, unlimited connectivity with the cloud. We'll see how this technology will fundamentally change the services we have today. I'm not going to go to a number of examples, but I can just name a few. I'm not going to go to them all. Video, 4K video is going to be as easy as streaming music. The ability to generate and share content will fundamentally change how we think of social networking. The low latency will create virtual presence. Gaming, it will be mainstream in mobile devices, not in consoles. And we're going to change productivity. So we have a lot of opportunities to bring innovation leveraging this technology. Of course, it doesn't stop at phones. It's going to also be used to connect everything around us. But when we think of phones, and I wanted to present a new concept. We look at our phones today and we have a lot of applications. And those applications and the operational systems, they connect to the cloud. Because 5G will enable the user to be connected with the cloud 100% of the time with a reliable air interface, you will start to see the apps in the cloud collapse it into one. It is less about the OS. It is more about the experience. And you can bring machine learning to every single application and computational as you have the latency of 5G. You can unleash the power of the cloud for every application and service. And we started to see a completely new experience of everything is connected all the time. And that is how we're going to see change in the smartphone, not only by having everything faster, but also having new type of services and applications, including leveraging computing at the cloud to augment the computing capabilities you have in your phone. And all of this will come to life in 2019 with the Snapdragon 855 5G. And Xiaomi is a company that, like no other, understands the value of premium and to provide premium technology to its users. The Snapdragon 855 is the fastest mobile platform, and it's the platform that will drive, this new array of services and experience with 5G. At the same time, providing an experience that allow you to evolve connectivity and machine learning at the same time. With our 4th generation Qualcomm AI engine on 855, you will be able to see the power of AI coming to life on 5G devices. And this is 2 times faster than the nearest Android competitor for a premium smartphone. And we always had said at Qualcomm, 5G, because you can connect the cloud with you, artificial intelligence will see the fastest possible growth going side by side with a 5G device. But we don't stop there. With the 855, we also bring in the Qualcomm Snapdragon Elite Gaming. It's not about just faster graphics. It's about understanding that now the #1 platform for gaming is the smartphone. And we see that with a lot of mainstream gaming now. They went for cross-platform, which unleashed the power of mobile. It's one of the fastest growing industries for the gaming, it's mobile gaming. And with that, we're actually bringing the premium gaming experience, and that's going to be available on Xiaomi phones. And with the launch of the Xiaomi 5G device, users will be able to see a change and will be able to experience all of that in the best that Xiaomi could offer. Again, we're very happy with this partnership. We're very proud of this partnership. We thank Xiaomi for what they're doing in the industry. Congratulate Xiaomi on the launch of the Xiaomi Mix 3 5G. And we are super excited to see this device in the hands of all of you very soon. Thank you very much, Xiaomi. Thank you, Sean, for the great partnership.
So
So thank you, Cristiano, and thank you, Xiao, for the warm introductions. And welcome everyone to MWC. My name is Donovan Sum, and I'm the Director of Product Management for the Xiaomi Global team. And we have some pretty exciting announcements today. Let's go straight into it. I was too excited, I skipped the Forbes one. So Forbes called Mi Mix 3 a powerful, slick slider. And XT developers said the build quality was superb, and the camera was great even by DxOMark's high standards. And Mi Mix 3 5G has the same full-screen magnetic slider as Mi Mix 3, and it has the almost 93.4, almost 94% screen-to-body ratio, so it's almost like you're just holding a single display in your hand. It uses the same camera module as Mi Mix 3, so you get the same great photography experience as reviewed by DxOMark and a lot of other camera reference companies. And just like the Mi Mix 3, it also has a dedicated Google Assistant button. It's very easy. You just tap this thing on the left here, and Google Assistant pops up. So really easy. This is one of the first phones we launched with an AI assistant button. It's going to be available in 2 colors, a very cool and sleek Onyx Black, and a very beautiful Sapphire. So Mi Mix 3 5G in summary. Essentially everything that you loved about the Mi Mix 3 now coming along with 5G, which you just saw in the demo just now. So what will it cost? Well, 5G has been one of the big trends of this year. It seems like there are more and more 5G phones that are coming out. This is going to be one of the world's first commercially available 5G phones. And as many of you know, Xiaomi's philosophy is to launch amazing products at honest prices. We want to make sure that everyone in the world can really enjoy our products at the best possible price. So what does everyone think would be a fair price for Mi Mix 3 5G? Everything about Mi Mix 3 and also supporting 5G. Any guesses? Okay, I heard something over 1,000, okay? Okay, I heard 699 euros. That seems like a pretty good price, huh? For a 5G phone. That seems pretty good, but I think we could do even better than 699. Starting 599 euros. $599 is better than $699, yeah? So we think this is one of the most competitive prices for a 5G smartphone today. And it's going to be available very, very soon. You guys can take as many pictures as you want. But we'll also have another slide later with 5999. And you can see we're partnering with a lot of key carriers, including Orange, Free, Sunrise, Telefonica, TIM, Vodafone, and many more coming very soon. And we want to bring this product as soon as possible. So it's going to be available starting in May, in less than 3 months from now. Across a variety of channels, our authorized Mi stores, Mi.com, and many more main retail channels. So here you have it, the Mi Mix 3 5G. Starting from 599 euros with everything you loved about Mi Mix 3. Full screen, ceramic body, magnetic slider. That's pretty much it for today. I'm just kidding, there's actually a lot more. The next exciting product that we're going to announce today is the Mi 9. And as Xiaomi mentioned earlier, I'm personally very, very excited about Mi 9 because it's the first time that we're coming to MWC to properly launch a product. And even better, we just launched Mi 9 in China less than 4 to 5 days ago. And we're bringing it to our global markets already. Mi 9 is the ultimate, ultra-clear AI triple camera flagship phone. It's our first ever triple camera phone. And it's a beautiful phone. It's absolutely dressed to the nines, no pun intended. A lot of you may have seen it online already, but sometimes if you haven't really taken a very close look, you don't really get the same impression. So here's a little product video. What does everyone think? Okay, some people like it. So you can see from the very bottom to the very top, it's just a simply beautiful curved design. And it's a triple camera setup that we'll talk a little bit more about later. If we just zoom out a little bit, you can see the way the colors hit the back of the screen. It's always a little bit different because of the extra curved design, which we'll talk a little bit more about. It's available in a couple colors. You just saw the ocean blue. This is the lavender violet. And here are the two colors paired together. Ocean blue on the bottom, lavender violet on the top. And this beautiful back cover, it's a result of a cumulative effort from our ID and our smartphone product team with amazing attention to detail. I'd love to just dive in a little bit to show you some of the key points. So we have a very advanced back cover process, and it took more than a year of really rigorous testing to get to this point. We have over 4 layers. Just go through some of the main ones. There's a nano-level color coding. On top of that, a nano-level holographic pattern, which creates that very shimmering effect. On top of that, we put a reflective coating, and on the very top, we put Corning Gorilla Glass 5. And you can see the net effect of these different layers creates this shimmering holographic rainbow spectrum effect. So every time you pick up the phone, the way the light hits the back of the phone is a little bit different. So you can fall in love with the phone every time again. We have a lot of attention to detail. On the very top of this triple camera setup, you see this halo ring accent, which kind of adds a certain asymmetry to the phone that makes it even more stunning. In order to make it more scratch resistant, because if you're like me, I'm always putting my phone in my pocket and it scratches with my keys or coins or other things like that, we have this sapphire glass cover, which makes sure that the camera can be protected really easily. We also have the stainless steel around the entire camera coating here. And here in Spain and in Western Europe, we're going to be launching this phone in 3 official colors. We already talked about the ocean blue. This is the lavender violet. And of course, the set would not be complete without the very smooth and classic piano black. So these are the 3 colors we're launching. So on top of that, this phone also has amazing hand feel. It just feels really nice in your hand. And one of the reasons is the curve. So one of our most popular flagship phones was the Mi 8. A lot of you have used it as well. And the Mi 8 was also a 4-sided curved glass phone. But the very back of the Mi 8 is completely flat. So it doesn't really have the same shimmering effect. In contrast, the Mi 9 is curved all the way. It's an all-curved design. And that's why it creates this very interesting, what do we call this? Sort of a rainbow effect. We're big fans of Gaudi. And one of the interesting quotes that I saw recently was this one. The straight line belongs to man. The curved line belongs to God. And we definitely took that as inspiration for the design of this new phone. We're very proud to announce that we also work with the Gaudi Academy of Knowledge to get the certificate. Here's what they said. Mi 9 beautifully combines the reflection of light, seamless curves, and the use of natural elements to create a masterpiece of art. It's slim and light. It's only 173 grams. It's packed with a lot of technology, which we'll go through. Very, very thin, too. The very thickest part is only 7.61 millimeters, which if anyone knows is actually very, very small by today's standards. But the thinnest part is only 3.5 millimeters. And the way we've curved it makes it look visually much slimmer than it actually is. So here are the highlights of the phone we mentioned so far. Sapphire glass cover on the triple camera setup, the halo ring accent, very slim, very light, and of course, the all curved design that creates the shimmering colors and the holographic spectrum. It's a full screen display, very massive, immersive, full screen experience. 6.39 inch AMOLED display with a very narrow chin, so it almost feels like holding a pure display in your hand. Now, a lot of us are using our phones a lot nowadays, all the time, sometimes over 4 to 5 hours a day. So in order to make this phone even better for consumption, we've added Reading Mode 2.0 to really reduce harmful blue rays. And we've worked with VD8 to make sure that it's certified. Speaking of the front display, we've also added a highly sensitive in-screen fingerprint display. It works really, really fast. Here's a video here. I put my thumb, and it's done. Put my thumb. I could watch this video like all day, but we should probably move on to the rest of this presentation. Unlocks much faster than you can think. There's a lot more details I could talk about when it comes to V9, but if I had to summarize just 3 key points, here they are. Beautiful, dressed to the nines with the holographic effort. Excellent hand feel, very slim and very light. And of course, a very fast fingerprint display. All right, let's keep going on. So, in addition to looking great, Mi 9 is our very first ever triple camera setup. Now, a lot of us use our phones nowadays for much more than just taking phone calls and texting. A big part of it is expressing ourselves through taking photos in a variety of situations, including night shots, portrait shots, landscape shots, macro shots where you really want to focus in on food or plants or nature. And usually, if you really want to achieve the best effect across a lot of different scenarios, you might need to carry a lot of different cameras. You know, one camera, I see a lot of cameras in front of me here. So they can get really heavy. You have one lens for one scenario, another lens for another scenario. So what we did with Mi 9 is we really took all the key scenarios and we put it in a single phone. So you can shoot like a pro with one single phone. So let's dive in a little bit on each of these 3 cameras. At the very top, we have a 12 megapixel telephoto lens. In the middle, we have one of the stars of the show, which is our 48 megapixel Sony IMX586 main wide angle lens. At the very bottom, we have a 16 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. And each of these 3 lenses serves a different purpose. You can see the telephoto lens allows you to zoom in at least 2x to get photos like this. The main wide angle lens lets you create really high resolution, beautiful shots, and the ultra wide angle lens lets you really create that panoramic effect over 117 degrees. There's a little bit on the 48 megapixel. This is using the flagship Sony IMX586 sensor, which is the highest resolution camera sensor in the market right now. So if you look at the sample shot here, does anyone know where this is, by the way? It's definitely in Europe. I think this is in Norway. You can see the snow, the very distinctive houses. And you can already see this is a very good shot, you know? All of the details, even like the way the signs are planted in the snow. But if you think about it, actually this is just one small part of a much bigger photo. And actually I could zoom out even more. That's the power of 48 megapixels. 48 megapixel allows you to take shots and blow them up to poster size. So that's one use case if I want to zoom out. Sometimes I want to zoom in as well. So let's say I took this shot of these beautiful flowers and I want to zoom in, let's say over there. You see, even when I zoom in, the petals, the pollen, it's all still very, very clear. probably even use this zoomed-in version as a desktop wallpaper if you really want to. Here's another example. You can see all the details. That makes me want to eat some steak later tonight. So you can see the details in the meat. Let's just zoom in on the tomatoes here. So you can see the fine details in the stem of the tomatoes, the asparagus, still super stunning and clear. So right down to the details. In this one here, we can see focus on the different stems, the different twigs, and the snow. And here's another shot too. Shot on the 48 megapixel shot. And if you compare this to some other flagship cameras, you can see the 48 megapixels offers 4 times more pixels than the typical 12 megapixel shot. So you get a lot more details, for example, when you're zooming in on different sides. And one of the reasons it has much clearer photos is because of the CMOS sensor. It's a 1.5-inch CMOS image sensor, which is a bigger version than what we had in Mi 8. And with this image sensor, we're able to also shoot really well even under low light conditions. Here's another example. You can see how clear the sign is, the words are at the top, even the little items hanging in the middle of the shot. Here's another one of my favorite shots here. You can see in a typical nightlight shot, on a typical camera, a lot of this would be overexposed, especially the neon lights at the top. But you can see here, this is all very clear. Even the bottom here, the reflection, it's really, really good. And a lot of this has to do with this flagship camera sensor, the IMX586. We have a technology called 4-in-1 pixel binning. It combines 4 different pixels into one super large pixel. That pixel is 1.6 microns large, giving you a lot more light than the original layout. We also have a very large f1.75 aperture and laser autofocus technology. So even in the dark, you can focus and capture sharp and clear images. We have a smart metering AI technology. A lot of you know, cameras today are much more than just hardware. We also have to add in software as well. So what AI smart metering does is it intelligently adjusts the exposure level for each different frame. So here's another comparison. You can see on the right here, a lot of the details are very, very clear, whether the red jacket or the motorcycle or even inside the shop. If you just focus on the motorcycle here, you can see even under very dark lighting conditions, we capture a lot more details with the Mi 9. All right, so the 48 megapixel allows you to capture these amazing shots. What about the telephoto lens? The telephoto lens lets you get closer to the action. You just tap this button in the middle, it says 1x, tap it, now it says 2x, and you get 2x closer to the action. The next star of the show, which is the ultra-wide angle lens. So a lot of us now are taking photos in urban photography as well. And we want to take these panoramic architectural shots. Let me know if this is a familiar situation. Let's say I want to take a photo of this really cool sort of statue or building or architecture here, but I can't really back up anymore, so I'm just a little bit too close to the shot, and I end up with a shot like this. Well, here's where the ultra-wide angle comes into view. All you gotta do is tap this button here, and you can get the ultra-wide angle shot. All right, some people like this shot. Here's another example here. I tap this again, zooms out. And here's another example, inside a museum. Sometimes you want to capture even more shots. You can tap this, zoom out, capture the whole shot. On top of this, we've also added some AI features. So what you can do here is, sometimes we can intelligently detect that you're looking at some famous statue or architecture. And this thing will pop up through AI software, saying, maybe you could try the ultra-wide angle mode. So you tap it, and boom, you're able to capture the whole shot. Is that pretty cool? And it also works with wide portrait mode. So Xiaomi's always been very well known for our portrait mode, taking good shots like this one. Focused beautifully on the subject with a blurred background. But sometimes you want an even more panoramic shot. So all you gotta do is tap the ultra wide angle mode and boom. You get this really wide portrait mode. We created a cool video. I'd love to show everyone this video of our ultra wide portrait mode. I love this video, especially that scene at the end with the party, which is what we're going to be doing tonight. Another really awesome part of the wide angle feature is that it also supports 4-centimeter macro photography. So you can really blow up really small objects and really get a lot of details. Whether you're taking pictures of strawberries or nature, plants, so on and so forth. And if you compare this to some other flagships out there, you see the difference is quite substantial. Let me just focus on this one part here. Yeah, it's quite obvious. Another one of my favorite features is 960 frames per second slow motion video. So we understand a lot of users nowadays actually are using the camera not just to take photos, but to take video, especially to share on Instagram stories, on YouTube, on WhatsApp, Facebook, so on and so forth. So let me just show you a quick example of a 960 frames per second slow motion video.